Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend and partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We'd like to welcome you to the conversation this morning. I hope you're ready to hydrate. I've got my tea. I hope you've got your favorite beverage, be it water, tea, coffee, orange juice, whatever it is you're doing this morning, mimosa, whatever. Hey, let's just relax and have a great conversation this morning. We've already got people in the clubhouse. We want to give a shout out to them. We want to give a shout out to those of you watching live and on the replay. And we just want to say, hey, welcome to the conversation. What's up,
Hey,
friend? I
oh
see someone's already sharing over here in
yes, that is real. She is going to be our Biz Chicks feature on first Monday.
oh, how nice.
So
Hi,
yes,
Will.
we'll be talking to Rel over there. She's also part of the Biz Chicks community, and we're looking forward to getting to know her better. And then I got Tasha over here in Clubhouse. We're going to have fun. Today, we're going to be discussing what lies ahead.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um, so, what lies ahead for you? What lies ahead and for all of us? And sometimes we think that, the world's spinning the way it does. It has the final say of what my life is going to be like.
Mm.
But that's not true. We get to determine what lies ahead. We get to say how our next season is going to be. We get to choose the fashion that we wear for that season. We get to do, we get to decide. We get to say whether or not we are going to win.
Mm.
It's all in our hands. Yes, the weather might be a little foul, or things are not politically correct or
Mm.
whatever it is, but we still get to decide what what lies ahead. um, I was thinking about uh, Dr. Godot was teaching last week. He called in a short notice meeting talking about goal settings.
Mm,
and
mhm.
and what are you going to do, talking about goals, because we have all heard about goals. Hey, Mark, we have all heard about goal setting and things of that nature, but I think sometimes we get so entwined with the day-to-day things that we're doing that we are not really focusing or refocusing on our goals. So one of the things I put over on in the Biz Chick circle this morning is what are you going to focus on for 2023 and beyond? You don't have to be, you don't have to focus on everything, but at least one thing. So what is the thing that you're going to focus on? We at BizChicks, we talk about, there are what, 7 areas, 7 areas of life. And we should have at least one goal for each area. One for your faith, one for your family. It's on the wall over there. I should put it on the wall over here. But one for your faith, one for your family, one for your fertilizer, which is your renewing of your mind and getting your mind right. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And one for your finances, and
Mhm.
something for fun.
Yes. And Mark says you're the author, not just a character in your story.
Yes.
I
We
know in the 70s we used to say, "This is my life, you just living in it."
So we get to decide what's going to happen in your faith walk.
Mhm.
I'm making a decision and deciding and declaring today I'm walking in abundance. Yes, I could have some other stuff, but why not walk in abundance? I mean, it's there. There's plenty for everybody. And
Exactly.
okay, so why can't I just walk in abundance? Well, maybe because I don't think I can. I
Mm.
read this children's story over the weekend. The little engine that could.
Good.
You know,
Mhm.
the little engine that could. And the toys are trying to get over the mountain, and their engine broke down, and or their engine. And so they kept asking these different people, could you help us, could you help us? And they asked this one little engine. She said, well, I don't do too much, I just pull the trains in the yard, but I think I can.
Mhm.
I think I can. And she hooked the train up. I think I can. I think I can. As they chugging up the mountain, and they made it to the top of the mountain. And at the end of the story, she said, I thought I could. I thought I could. I thought I could. So what is it that's in front of you that seems insurmountable? I know sometimes we think living a life of abundance is like, oh, that I don't know. But it all starts with I think I can.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. And Mark has a comment down here. He says part of the process is learning how to move from I think I can to I know I can and I am.
Mm.
So and that happens. I think I was listening to John Assaraf last week when he was talking about mindset.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's mindset, self-image, and then whether or not you take action. I was
Mhm.
like, oh snap. Okay. So if your hidden money story or your hidden story back behind the scenes, because it's the thing that you don't see that's driving the bus.
Okay.
Is driving the bus,
Mhm.
piloting the plane, and all of it. It's the thing that you don't see, you're not cognizant of. And that's why you need to have somebody to kind of show you what's happening. You know how you can tell where somebody is thinking?
Mm.
You know how? By
How?
what comes out of their mouth.
Oh, yes, because mhm. It
Because out
starts
of
in the heart, and then it moves to the mind, and the next thing you
comes
just
out of your mouth.
mhm.
So whatever is in there that is going on in your life or not going on in your life, it is all in you. But there's some reason why you're not moving past this.
Mhm.
And if I don't know what my hidden
What
story
my
is,
or what my heart is thinking.
right. What is my hidden? What is, because it's a hidden story. It is the thing, you grew up in a certain environment. Money
Okay.
don't grow on trees. I don't know how you think you're going, we can't do that. And all of these, and that is playing in the background. And if we don't switch environments
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
retrain whatever that story was going on and start writing a new story, then
Mm.
we're going to be stuck in that same cycle. And you know that there's abundance out there, you know that there's more for you out there, you know you want to go for it, and like, yes, I can do it and I can have it. But then something goes skirt. That old mindset of mom telling you, oh, money don't grow on trees, and we gotta da. So if that record or that playlist does not get changed, you're gonna cap where you're trying to go, even though consciously you know that there's more and better for you.
Mm.
You're not going to experience it because we never bother to read. Okay, take that A track out, pull up a new playlist. It is time to have a different thought. So Mark says, you are the cause. Your life is the effect. Your life today is a product of your thoughts, words, emotions, and actions of yesterday.
Absolutely.
So how do you change a thought?
Mhm. Mhm. You replace it with a new thought, with new
Where are you?
information.
Okay, so with new information, but where are you getting the new information? That's
Now
key.
that is key because if you're getting water from the same well, you're going to get the same effect.
where are we getting our information from? Where are we pulling? Where you're living now is a result of information that were in your
You,
environment.
it makes me think about all of, how they're talking about these um, military bases where the water had been contaminated for decades. And now they're telling people, if you lived in this on this particular base for such and such a period of time, you need to, call this number, da 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 da. But think about all the residual effects from decades of having contamination in your system. And that's the way a poor thought is. It affects decades and generations, because it's not just you. You're speaking that, you're sharing that water with others. Okay. And now they're contaminated. So, how do you undo all of that, Fran?
You have to go to a new water source.
Mhm.
And normally, if you are flushing your system or
Mm,
flushing, you are like, if, okay, for vehicles, to
yeah.
flush a radiator, you
Mhm.
have to pour clean water through it to flush it out. In order to flush you, in order to get rid of the contaminants, you got to have an abundance of fresh water. So, where are you getting your abundance of fresh thoughts and ideas?
Mm,
Where
mm,
are they coming from? Are we listening to people who, like you said, are in the same pool? You know how, okay, salmon, do you want wild caught salmon or you want salmon that's been
farmed.
farmed
Mhm.
in the same, just here? Okay, I think I want my salmon wild. So because they are having they live in fresh water, whereas the farm raised are in the same water,
Tank, same tank.
same
Mhm.
tank, and
Mm,
there's nowhere for the waste to go and that type of thing. So
mhm, mhm.
we need to have fresh ideas, fresh thinking needs to come from a fresh source and an accurate source, not just keep thinking uh, we're just out here thinking the same old thought all the time. Well, da, 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 da. Like Glump on Gulliver's Track. We'll never make it. I was like, that dude has got to get off the boat. People are coming up with ideas. Well, we're never make, because his thought was here, even though he's seeing miracles and seeing the
Mhm.
outcomes and whatever. But his whole thought was, we'll never make it.
Wow.
He needs to be off the boat, and I need a new environment. If he's gonna stay on the boat, I need to be on a different boat.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mark has another comment. He says, replacing the thought is imperative. Shifting the emotion is even more important and often overlooked, meaning that feeling good is
Integral.
integral in your receptivity,
Mhm.
in your capacity to receive and align yourself with the new thoughts. You have to feel the thought, is what he's saying. You have to feel it. What did we learn in Boston Movement? In order to be
Being
enthusiastic,
enthusiastic, you have to
you have to
act.
act
Yeah.
enthusiastic. So if you are, and something John Assaraf said, and this was really good from, he said, a lot of people talk about fake it till you make it. He said, not fake it, practice till you make it.
Mm.
So yes, you're going to dress for the money that you want to make. You are going to act abundant even when you don't see. It's hard for you to see abundance because you're trying to retrain your mind for abundance. So now you have to start seeing it. You have to put it in your environment, and you have to be enthusiastic. How will you feel when you wake up and there are no
Mhm.
debts looming over your life? How will you feel when, and Mark, you can let me know if I'm on point, because I think that's what you mean. How will you feel when?
Mm. Shifting the emotion is even more important
Yeah.
and often overlooked and often overlooked, meaning that feeling good is integral to your receptivity because it sets off a different set of endorphins when you feel
Mhm.
good. Like going to get your hair done, going to get your nails done, going to have a massage. It puts you in a whole different quote unquote mood.
Remember they used to say, um, when the person would dress for the part or dress to go to work or whatever, when they put on the new clothes and they spiffied up, they had a new attitude, they walked different. They what was the show where they would
The
take you,
makeover.
the makeover show with the two ladies from Britain,
Yes. When
what not to wear?
oh, okay. Well,
Everybody had a new attitude when they had a new wardrobe.
absolutely.
They felt better. Therefore, they dressed them differently. The
Mhm.
people felt differently. They had their makeup done, they had everything done, and now they felt differently and they projected differently wherever they went. They were like happy, didn't care what anybody thought because they had a new attitude.
And they were happier on their jobs, in their businesses. Um, their love lives changed. Like their significant others and spouses and whatever were like, "Oh my gosh, you've been hiding this," you know, all this.
And,
So yeah.
it yes, you're doing it for you. Other people are going to benefit. And Mark says, we are energy and energetic beings. We function on frequencies. If you want to receive more good, abundance, etc., you must tune into the station on which it is broadcast. You
Mhm.
only hear the music on 103.5 if that is the station on which your radio is set. You cannot hear it on 92.5. So you have to raise and align your vibration with that which you wish to receive. Where are you getting your, where are you tuning into? Where's your playlist? Where are you getting where are you tuning in for the thing you want?
Yes, and this reminds me of your podcast. You know, radio, your headsets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What
What's
are you listening to? Because
Mhm.
whatever you're listening to is either confirming and solidifying your environment and your life, or either whatever you're listening to is going to propel you to the life that you want.
Mhm.
Either or, whatever you're listening to is affecting.
The outcomes that you're getting. The
Right.
words that you spoke yesterday is the life you're seeing today
and
because you
and
spoke what you believed.
that what you believe was a direct relationship to your thoughts.
And
your
your
thoughts
actions.
your thoughts are direct relationship to whatever and whoever you've been hanging with.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that school of thought? Because you hang in with those people who think that way. And so if you keep hanging around those people that think that way, you're going to pick up that same school of thought. And now you're going to have those beliefs, and then you do those actions, and that's the life that you're living
Mm, mm.
because we are there. Tasha, oh, Mark is here going to say something out loud. Okay, Mark, hold on. Let me get you up here. Wave to talk. What does that mean? Hold on. They got new tricks going on
Is
Clubhouse.
it Clubhouse? Yes.
Not invite to speak. Oh, there it is. I was like, what is wave to talk? Okay. Hey, Mark, do you want to say something, Mark, or you just
Good morning. It wouldn't unmute me for a moment.
Uh-huh. Good morning, Mark.
I was just going to say in elaboration to what I was attempting to communicate is sometimes people I find become stuck or fixated in terms of the thought they wish to choose.
Mm.
So which because the menu is so large. In other words, when you ask people, what do you want? Sometimes people cannot even settle on something because there are so many options. So one of the things that I have focused on that I've learned very effective is to shift to who is it that you want to be? What is the adjective that best describes that? Who do you want to be today? Not for your life necessarily, but today. And if you focus on that, clarity will begin to emerge in terms of that which you actually want, which you may not be completely clear about. And emotion is the gasoline in the car that fuels the speed in which things will manifest. So it does not do you any good to only focus on the thought absent of the emotion. So it's very important that the most important thing that we can do, in my opinion, is to find a way to feel good. Even if you're not focused on a specific intention, if you focus on feeling good, what can I do to feel good? To feel as close to joyful and grateful and appreciative and all of these things as I can, because that is the frequency upon which it travels. And that's where the receptivity is. And that's what I meant by the radio station. If you tune into that station, you are opening the door to more good. This is why when someone wakes up in the morning and say you stub your toe, and automatically you surrender to the pain of that moment and say, ugh, it's going to be one of those days. This is going to be a bad day. This is why you will find that there are days when it seems like everything goes wrong. And the reason that happens is because it all comes down to which outlet you plug yourself into. So the moment that you plug into that momentary pain or that bad thing, you have tuned your station in to everything that functions on that low frequency. So you're inviting all of that stuff in. Whereas if you raise your vibration, if you stop yourself and shift and raise your vibration to something joyful, something appreciative, something for which you're grateful, and continue to plug into that, that's the station you're tuned into. And those are the things that you're inviting in. But you can't bring in the good if you're not tuned in to the station.
Wow.
Well said, Mark. Well said. Who do you want to be today?
And you can tune into a new station, in the words of Mark. And we say it all the time, change the channel. If you don't like what you see,
change the channel.
Now that's a conversation right there. How to change the channel, which is what we're talking about today, guys.
But you know that you can be watching something on one channel and just sit there and not get up, and then you'll be subjected to whatever they put on because you didn't get up and change the channel.
Or you're not paying attention to what's on the channel even. It's just playing in the background, and all the time
it is programming you.
Sending
television is telling you a vision. Now you need to make sure that the vision they're telling you is lining up with where you want to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are programming you for some type of life. Is that the life that you want?
Wow.
That is so true. That is such a good point. I had a client the other day that I was talking to that suffers from depression. And one of the things in looking at the behaviors is how much, and I think so many of us can relate to this, how much of the music that he played were consistently sad songs.
Wow.
Sad songs. Like all the time. That's part of the programming too. And listen, I have a great appreciation for those emotional, sad songs as well. But if you're suffering from feeling bad, you need to do, and listen, I'm not putting aside any sort of biological factors and those things. Those are all important too. However, there are things that we can also manage within the framework of our life, which means if you want to feel better, perhaps it's not the best idea to always be tuning in to things that are sad.
Okay.
Tuning in to things that are aligned with that which you want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I agree with you, Mark. Maybe
So
if you change the channel. Yeah.
who remembers the song Sitting on the Dock of the Bay?
I remember it vividly. And we actually changed the words, and they were not for positive.
No, if you go back and listen to the story this dude is telling, you're really like, oh no, I can't.
Looks like nothing's going to change. Everything remains the same. Guess how, whatever.
Just and it was a very popular song. The beat, I guess it was the beat and the
What is this,
melody and the
American
music,
Bandstand? I love the beat. I don't like the lyrics, but I love the beat. Come on, guys. Yeah.
But you have that
You did choose music that way, Fran.
right because of the way the music made you feel, but nobody was paying attention to the words.
Mm-mm.
And another one was by Gladys Knight, Midnight Train to Georgia. I was like, you need to dump, dude. Seriously, if you start listening to the words that are being spoken,
Exactly.
those words get down in you and begin to program you. And so it is very, very crucial that when you are looking to go to what lies ahead, you are choosing the right station, like Mark said, and listening to the lyrics of the songs that you listen to, because all of the popular songs that come out may not be of benefit to you
Okay.
based on the lyrics, because sometimes it's just playing and playing, and our subconscious mind can pick up what our conscious mind does not hear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why they tell us to use essential oils, because it changes the aromatherapy. They tell us to have things to touch. You know, I know, listen, if my granddaughter is 3, and this is the only one that I've seen do this. She has a blanket, and if you don't have that particular blanket, you're going to have to pay. She is going to scream and yell and picture boogie woogie, as my grandmother used to say, until she gets that blanket. I mean, we have to sneak it away to wash it. There are certain things that people just require
Right.
to make them feel good.
Tasha, you were going to weigh in?
No, the problem with all of that is we are constantly being programmed by the media, by the news, by commercials. They're telling us we're sick. They're telling us we need drugs to be better. They're telling us that if you don't do this, you're going to get that. And if you don't get this, you're going to get... We're constantly... It's subliminal suggestion. I remember my first year of college, my professor had us do this exercise where we talked about a commercial that caught our eye, and mine was the Decon commercial with Muhammad Ali. You know, and I was talking about how he made you want to go out and buy it. You know, it wasn't just because he was the heavyweight champion of the world at the time, but because of who he was and how his conviction and his voice told us we need to go out and buy that stuff. But we are being subliminally programmed every single solitary day of our lives, whether it be music, the news, reading a newspaper, something. We are being programmed. And the problem to me, I think my elder the other day was talking about this in church. We love it. You know, it's something that unless we get some type of approval or we have somebody telling us what to do, what to eat, how to be, then we're not going to be right. Our lives is just going to just crumble and be a pile of crumbs. And I stopped watching the news because I was talking to my sister the other day and I said, you know, I don't watch the news anymore because every time when you turn it on, somebody died, somebody got kidnapped. There's nothing happy about the news.
No, it's not.
Nothing happy about it. I mean, I love tech news. I do. I love any new gadget or whatever that's coming out, and I'm like, I'm getting that. My husband laughed because I saw the pizza stove, and I was like, I want that. He thinks I'm crazy, but I'm like, I want that. I know the world is not roses and sunshine, but I don't want to be programmed on how to think. I just don't. I'm Tasha and I'm done.
So Tasha,
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, please.
First of all, you know, truth, you're preaching truth. And I appreciate that. The thing that I try to remind myself is to be conscious of the story that I'm telling in regards to the truth that I see. Meaning that I try to be, and I'm not always successful, I try to frame the story in terms of this is the way the world is for many, and here's the way it's going to be for me. And in the midst of the possibilities for negative programming and conditioning, I am choosing to be this. And I am seeing this as an opportunity. And I am taking this and doing this, blah, blah, blah. Because that in and of itself is also very important. Is what is the story that we are telling ourselves and others? And it's not about denying the reality, because there is one, right? The challenges and obstacles are very real, but it's a matter of what am I going to give dominance in the narrative that I'm telling? And so one of the things that I try to remind myself is, am I going to be the exception or the rule? And sometimes I just have to decide, you know what? I'm going to be the exception. And, you know, all of my work is based on exactly what you were just saying is conditioning, because I believe that success is a product of conditioning. Aligning thoughts, words, and actions with a clear vision.
I love that last sentence. Thought, words, and actions with a clear vision.
And you have to tell your vision to yourself. That means if you got to start your own television station in your house, you can do that with the podcasts that you watch, with the YouTube channels that you watch, with the books that you read. You might need to not watch certain television programs. I know when you try and watch some of the older programs, every commercial comes on, it's got something to do with something else, and you got to keep up. The mute button is getting well used on my TV remote. I was like, okay. Or I can decide, you know what? I'm just not going to have to watch this station because I need to protect my mind. I need to protect my well-being. And that means I cannot go hang out with y'all over here.
I tell you, I knew I was done when they had the commercial that said, "Are you too happy?" I'm like, what the heck? Isn't that what we're all trying to get, to happiness?
Now you're too happy.
Now you got to get a pill to bring you down, girl, because you're too happy. You're too blessed. Are you for real? Okay.
And I don't have to. See, the thing is, we do not have to succumb to the dictates of somebody else. That is why we have choice. We were given choice. Yes, life and death is always going to be in front of you, but you get to choose life. we have the opportunity to choose, and no one can take that away from us. I get to choose this, or I can. What's that song? That old hip hop song. You can get with
this,
this,
or you can
or
choose
get
that.
with that. You get to make a choice. And Tasha, I'm with you. I'm making a choice. If I'm not doing the news, I can't go to the Dock of the Bay or the midnight train to Georgia. I really like some of the songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. But hey, I cannot afford to have
Those
negative
lyrics,
thoughts
those lyrics running
circulating,
through your head.
right, and causing, propelling whatever hidden agenda is back there in from my environment of long ago. I can't afford to keep that going. I have to get a new playlist. I have to change the channel, and that's on me. If the remote ain't working, I got to get up, walk over there, and change the channel, not just sit there and just constantly be
Bombarded by crap.
by all of that. There are at least 5,000 marketing messages that hit us every day. At least 5,000. I'm sure there's more. Every time you turn on the TV, even when you're going into YouTube, stuff is popping up, and you have to. What does TJ say? You have to curate that. Dr. Tachi, did you want to jump in? Oh, Mark, go ahead.
I was just going to say that what Tasha was saying is so right on. I mean, that awareness and what you were just speaking of, and you ladies have heard me speak about this before, is the whole principle of capitalism is based on not having enough, right? It's so all of the advertising that is hitting us night and day from every direction is essentially you are incomplete. If you had this, then you would be complete. Then your life would healthy and complete. Then you would be fulfilled. So it really is a matter of being able to be aware of that, like Tasha is, and recondition yourself. We are always digesting, so we have to become responsible in terms of what is it that we're eating. What is it that we're consuming at all times, and is that aligned with what you want to create? And that is a discipline. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a discipline.
Yes, it is. Wow. Dr. Chachi, did you want to weigh in? Because you are definitely in this space.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tasha and the ladies of the hour. Definitely, I mean, as Mark said, I 100% co-sign. The purpose of advertising is to obviously sell things to you, but not just things. It's selling you a lifestyle, because you have to see how that thing makes your life better. And as Mark said, how that thing completes what is missing. And so if it was just about the actual thing and selling product, then there would be no need to create these whole scenarios when they're doing ads. Whether it's a video ad or whether it's an audio ad, there'd be no need for you to imagine how this could help you. But that's the premise of marketing and selling and advertising, how to show where you are lacking and how this is going to fill in the gap, appealing completely to the whole Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? All of that. So, yeah, I 100% agree with all of that. And there's something that was said that Terry had said before about scents and things. I noticed, and I didn't notice that I did this until a friend of mine was here visiting from Detroit, and a friend from college, and she happened to be here on a Mediascope day. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll be done at 7, and then we could go to dinner or whatever. And I just automatically light incense, light candles, because scent, for me, just that completes the picture, right? To me, it's also like how some people don't get fully dressed before they go live. They keep the, they'll have pajama bottoms on the, pants on the bottom, but, the blouse on the top. I never do that because there's a different attitude altogether.
Yes.
Dressed. The only concession I give is I don't care about shoes because probably we're not going to see them. So I do my like cloud slippers all day. But other than that, I'm fully dressed because there's a different approach and a different attitude. So bring that's kind of that same thing. So I'm fully dressed. And then she said, oh well, I don't want to bother you because I know you're going through your ritual. I'm like, what ritual? And that's when I noticed that I was doing the lighting candles and doing things. And yeah, ritual and all of that is definitely important. So if anybody wanted to sell something to me, make it about sex or whatever, because that would work for me. But just put that in to the whole thing. I agree 100%.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry.
I just think that we all have our habits, or our processes, or our rituals, whatever we want to call them, and that we just need to be conscious of, do we need to tweak them? Do we need to add something? We don't necessarily always have to take things away. Maybe we need to add something, or maybe we need to just be, what do they call that? Mindful of what we're doing and enjoy it. Enjoy the sense. Enjoy the peace that happens when you're satisfied. When the commercial tells you you're too happy, you mute that sucker and go and be happy, people.
I like the word alignment.
Mhm.
Last week we talked about being in alignment.
Mhm.
When the car is out of a line, you're going to hit potholes. It's very hard to steer, and you're trying to get someplace, but the car is out of alignment, and so you keep trying to overcompensate, trying to keep the car on track.
Overcorrect, yeah.
So when we align ourselves up by finding the right information, changing the channel, and those are the things you have to do to stay in alignment with what you decided that you wanted to do. And today we learned in who you wanted to be. You have to keep making a little twist on as you're driving out of town, the radio station changes because the signal changes. So then you have to tweak to make sure that you are staying aligned with what it was that you decided who you wanted to be and what you wanted to do. And Mark has a comment here. He says, sometimes mindfulness comes down to the simplest of questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? If you're doing it because somebody else is doing it, and wrong answer. Why are you doing what you're doing? So today we talked about what lies ahead. You get to determine 2023. You get to determine your next steps for the future. It is all your decision. It is all your choice. And we just wanted to encourage you today. So we want to thank everybody who's a part of the conversation. Tasha, Mark, Tachi, Rel, the Facebook user over there that I can't see their name.
I believe that's Dr. Tachi.
No, Dr. Tachi's Dr. Tachi. I see her, but there's somebody that
You see
says
her.
Facebook.
Okay. Well, welcome to the space. Oh, thank you, Doc. That's
So
just great stuff.
again, what lies ahead? I'm going to go sit down and look at a couple of things that what lies ahead for me, and begin to do some focus sessions on what I want to have done. And who am I today? Who will I be today? I get to choose. So do you. So thank you, Terry.
Guys, I want you to know that you can always reinvent yourself. You don't have to stay where you are. Please don't be afraid to grow or be afraid to bloom where you're planted. So have a great day. And remember that you can find us here Monday through Friday from at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock Central Time. In addition to that, next Monday, we will have our guest. And if you're looking to be a part of First Monday, we'd love for you to let us know. Or if you'd like to be a part of the BizChicks community, you can simply go to bizchicks.net and join through the Heartbeat app. We love you and we look forward to talking to you. Or you can simply text Biz to 33777 and be a part. Until then, tomorrow is Tuesday, and we will be talking to Terry Johnson online everywhere, our digital marketing
Eva.
strategist. And so we hope that you will stay tuned for that. And we look forward to talking to you. Remember, it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.